Fathergamer Podcast.
I don't think it's shut. So yes, they have literally ripped the door off. I think everybody in Clockwork wants to listen to us. But we're recording at Clockwork in College Station.
Really?
What?
I'm blowing my nose while you're talking.
No one would know unless you said that. So we are recording live. Well, we're live, but you're not listening to this live. If you are,
I'm sorry.
If you're psychic, or you have like superpowers,
or you're the CIA. Or NSA.
Oh well, you know, there's the Clinton email van outside there.
Really? Politics already just... By the way, it's lost too. Anyway, so we... this is the Fathergamer Podcast. This is episode 67.
67, yeah.
67. 2 away.
From 69!
Yeah, so that will be an interesting episode.
Which is a
But
special
you know what?
episode. Yeah.
Stay for this episode and then just camp out and wait for the next 2. And
just keep re-listening to this episode.
Yeah, it'll be a heartwarming tale. So let's go ahead. Well, let me tell you something right quick. So we were, you know what? It's been a while, and I forgot. I need to introduce. The show is not just me. To my virtual left, I have
Katy.
And Katy. It's been a while.
I know.
You've been. On a mission or something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, well, my daughter's cat that we've had for 16 years passed away.
What about me?
Oh, I don't care. Okay, Mike's not here as well. So, so Jack was his name, and apparently the person out there agrees. He just passed away, and so we had to figure out. My daughter goes, okay, I don't want him cremated, and I don't want him buried. And I was like, well, sweetheart, you kind of have to figure out something.
Do you want him stuffed?
So
yeah, that's what everybody says. Well, I guess that's the only option. Or send into space. I don't know.
Oh.
Yeah, I know.
Sputnik Kitty.
Somebody should do that to me.
So, well, that's...
when I die.
Duly noted.
Can we get this? It's on the record.
It's on. You everyone heard. We'll just make sure you're dead first. So they decided to. We have a family plot in a little tiny, like, you drive past it town here in Texas.
One exit or one stoplight. That's it.
So it's dark as hell there. Like, it's just completely pitch black. My daughter decides to go at night, of course, to go bury the cat in this plot. And so we get out there and we find this church. And
at night?
At night, and they're open. And there's this choir that's in there. They're practicing. Yeah, I know. It just feels like a horror movie at this point.
Yeah.
So
and you went?
We
That's
went
how
in,
those people die.
No, they separate. Because there was a moment I was like, y'all go in. And I was like, no, I'm dead if I stay in the car. So we stayed together.
Okay.
We stayed together. And we passed this room called the Cry Room, by the way.
The Cry Room?
A Cry Room, which that's
Or
old.
was it a
shit.
Catholic?
church,
Was
yeah.
it a Catholic church?
I don't know at this point.
Okay.
To
bet
my
we had
knowledge,
cry rooms
The
in all the churches I
chainsaws
went to
and
growing up.
robes threw me off. But no.
There's a lot of churches with Cry Rooms.
Well, we go in, and which I don't mind the Cry Room. It was just
Yeah.
at the moment.
It was like, whoa.
And they
With
come
the
up to
dead
us,
cat.
and the guy goes, "Are you here to sing?" And I was like a pig? Well, let's squeal. All right, no, we're good. I was like, well, can you tell me where the cemetery is? Keep in mind, it is nighttime, and the look on his face was like, what the hell?
Are you satanic or something? Why are you wanting to go to the cemetery?
He told us what the thing is, and then I got in the car, and they all started leaving the church about that point. I'm thinking, they're going to go get their robes, and they're going to meet us out there. I'm going to go out there, they're going to be summoning something out in that cemetery. So we get out to the cemetery, and it's dark. Like, we're the only light out there. There's stars.
Yeah.
And it's literally in a pasture. And a circle of trees. And tombstones that say like 18 something or other. I mean, this is an old cemetery,
This is
especially
how
people
get-
die. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
This is,
You get
It's-
like possessed by demons.
well, I'm already full. So we get out there and we look everywhere. We cannot find the plot of
Yeah.
land anywhere. And her boyfriend gets out of the truck, and just about the time my daughter goes, "Don't get out of the truck." That's when they can get in.
Oh my god!
And his lights on the truck went out.
No.
And I was like, well, all I have to do is run faster than these two, and I'm pretty sure I can do that. So, granted, I know it's my daughter, but still, I mean, I gotta
you don't know
stay
what's
around.
at stake here.
Yeah, I
you know?
mean, the whole Fathergamer organization depends on me.
Exactly.
So we ended up not finding the thing last night, and then came back today, and found it. It was not
During the day?
during the daytime, not as scary, and we buried the poor kitty, and rest in peace, Jack. But it was a very traumatic experience for my poor daughter. Like, that's her first death that she, so that was interesting. But this is not the I Have a Dead Cat show. This is, we talk about video games and nerd stuff. So
we do?
I know. So I guess we should probably talk about video games and nerd stuff.
Yeah.
So let's get into what's in your system.
What's in your system?
So Mike and I have been playing. Colby, Kyle.
OG.
Yeah, pretty
TFGP?
much. Yeah, OG TFGP has been playing the frick out of Destiny: Rise of Iron.
Yes.
How much of the other stuff have you played? I mean, you played a little bit of like vanilla Destiny.
I played a little bit of the original beta and then stopped. And then as soon as Taken King came out, I bought Taken King and upped my level to 25, I think, or 26 automatically through the Mode of Light upgrade. And then stopped again because I didn't have anybody to play with at the time. You guys had already gone through your stuff, and then you had already raids and everything else. I didn't have enough light level to do that.
So I've done all the raids. This is basically how it goes for the last 3 years. We get the raid. I level myself up, and then I stop playing.
Yeah.
And it's usually about a month and a half. And then somewhere around the holidays, whatever thing they have, I get it. Like, whether it be like the Halloween stuff or whatever, I do that.
The special stuff, yeah.
Yeah, and then I'm done. So it's become a seasonal thing, which is fun. Like, I enjoy that. I'm fine with going, okay, I can put this on the shelf and then play it again, next year. Because I've got a billion other games. Like, we've got so many games coming out this fall. It's just crazy.
I've been thankful enough to have found a clan to kind of hitch along the ride with. So not only do I play with y'all, but I play with them a lot too. So.
Yeah, you've been playing for our when we started. You were definitely our noob gamer. He's been playing a lot of that and Overwatch. And
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm over 100 in Overwatch at this point. I haven't played it since Destiny came out, the Rise of Iron.
So we'll have some more stuff on Destiny. This is the thing, if you like Destiny and you've been with it the whole time, then you'll like this.
Yeah.
If you don't, then you're not gonna. It's just
You've got to keep up with it.
yeah, you really do. And then having a group is probably the best thing.
Yeah.
You can't solo that game.
So now that I'm going to turn this on you, Eric.
Oh God.
So now that it's been out for a long time, you know what? It's been out for 2 years in September.
3 almost.
Is it
Yeah.
3? 2014?
Yeah, this is the third. Yeah.
Yeah, you're at 3 years and multiple expansions. How do you feel Destiny lived? Do you feel it lived up to the hype that it was given, or how do you feel it is now that?
And this is actually going to bring us into another game about living up to hype in a moment, but I think it didn't. I don't think it did because that hype was pretty extraordinary.
It was unnecessarily.
Yeah, and it was also you were coming off of Bungie doing all the Halo stuff,
Right.
but I see, especially when Destiny 2 comes out, I see something that could be amazing. Like, it's really good. I enjoy it. And you can argue, okay, no story, no this, but the technical gameplay of that game is always spot on. Like, they know how to make a shooter. They know how to do that stuff. And
the gameplay plus the actual like graphical.
Oh, graphics are always
beautiful.
But I can see things that they could definitely expand on, and I'm really hoping to see a lot more lore, not just kind of like. Part of me almost wants a Mass Effect type game set in that universe.
Yeah.
Like, I want to see something more deep, which I know is completely different than what Destiny is, but I could see other games in that.
There's a lot of stuff going on, and you get bits and pieces by doing each of the different, like, the individual solo levels as well as the group levels.
There's a lot of story.
Yeah.
But a lot of it you have to dig for. It's not, and I think that's...
It's bits and pieces. You may end up doing one mission before another part of the story.
Yeah, it's there's no chronological order. Well, there is a chronological order, but there's a lot of stuff.
If you do it wrong, then you're out of order.
I guess
or
they
if you
don't.
play with somebody else.
So it's like they didn't make it. They didn't make a linear storyline, but
they did, but they don't force you to.
Each expansion there is a basic linear storyline, but I think, especially doing strike missions and all that kind of stuff, they have to make it non-linear. That way you can play with other people. And I think that's probably was a huge, not burden, but that's something they had when developing the game they had to really think about.
Yeah.
Right? But overall, like, when we do the raids, like, there's this great feeling when you complete that raid.
Yeah.
Because it's huge. It takes us, I think, it usually takes us about a week.
Mm-hmm.
Because of scheduling, and then if you don't complete it in a week, it resets. So usually by like the last day, we're like, we gotta do this, guys. We gotta get it done, and we get it done. And
because there's like checkpoints, I guess, along the way.
There's checkpoints, and then you can go back every day for that week and continue from the checkpoints.
Yeah.
But the last raid, we finally completed it by playing the Divinals "I Touch Myself." The song. That was the only thing that got us through, and we got it. And so it is great because it's a great team. Like, doing the raid is a great team effort. It is. You really have to be on point. You really have to communicate with each other, and that's to me. I'm kind of like on both sides of this coin. I'm a social butterfly when it comes to like anything game wise. I love to be online. I love to play. I love to show pictures and all that kind of stuff. I love all that stuff. But then every so often I like to turn around. I want to begin a JRPG or something like that by myself. So
I find myself, I play single player more often than not, or like local co-op.
Do you think it's more because you're a girl? Because of the whole like experience of like assholes?
I mean, I've had some pretty terrible experiences, and the small amount of time that I've played online in voice clients. But I haven't had, but they all haven't been terrible. Yeah. I found I was much more comfortable in Overwatch than I was in League of Legends.
There's a lot of girls that play Overwatch.
Yeah, Overwatch and Destiny, actually.
I feel like it's I've had a much more pleasant experience in Overwatch. Even with and my usernames on League, I'm the Squeaky Duck. In my Blizzard, my BlizzNet and my it's Katy Cake. So you literally know I'm a girl, and I haven't had anybody shit talk me. And I'm probably like, well, I think I'm like 55 or so. So I've played quite a bit of Overwatch, but I
we're not Mike.
So I mean, I played a lot, but I played a lot in a really short period of time, and then I've taken a big break. I fully expect myself to. Season 2 started, and I'll probably pick back up in Season 3. But I've had much more pleasurable experiences there, and I don't know if it's because a lot of girls do play Blizzard games.
They do.
You know, there's a really big female community. Not that I'm not even entrenched in any sort of female community either.
I kind of wonder what that is. If it's just more accepting and just kind of.
I think I think it's at that point that audience has accepted the fact that there is a really even split. Whereas League of Legends is, I love the game. I've been playing it, and I'll talk about it.
Is it mostly male dominated?
And I'll talk about it when y'all are done with Destiny. I've interrupted a little bit, but.
That's fine.
I mean, the community I've been a part of for 6 years now.
Yeah, so.
Well,
we're pretty much done with Destiny. We're going to be playing it for the night. I don't think we really have a lot more to talk about until we do the raid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm not high enough level for the raid.
Because it's going to take, and that probably is my biggest problem right now with it. Is it seems like, and I've heard there's patches coming and certain things, workarounds.
Yeah.
It's taken forever. Like, I'll do strikes, which is the easiest way to level up your equipment.
Right, because your equipment allows you to
And
level
the other
up,
night
yeah.
I did 10 strikes in a row.
Wow.
And I got
nice
3 upgrades.
Nice.
Let me know. That was
That
terrible.
sucks.
See?
Yeah. that
Okay,
would
just
suck.
kidding.
So
That sucks.
it was just like, I don't want to do this. And
Yeah.
so...
Oh, man.
But it's all
Huh.
random. Weapons drop when armor drops and all that kind of stuff. And I kept getting stuff that was either the same
Yeah.
or weaker.
Yeah.
And I was even popping these things called 3 of coins.
Yeah.
And I was popping those with everything. And every so often, about every 5th to 10th thing that I do when I do strikes, I'll get I'll get a exotic.
Yeah.
And I kept getting the same exotic that was underpowered for what I already had. And but at least I get the shards, because you break those down and you can use the shards to upgrade other stuff, but it was just...
The weekly heroics are the easiest or the best way to get the level up on.
I've done those, and I'm
They're
leveling.
hard,
I'm
but
at
they
three.
give you
I'm at
good
350.
stuff.
I'm at 356 right now, and the light level. And
I'm still at 351.
and you have to be at least 360 to 370, I think it is, to do
Yeah.
the raid.
Yeah. 360 minimum.
And that's going to be a while at this point.
Yeah.
And I've played a lot. Like I've played a lot. So yeah, we'll definitely get more into that. League of Legends. I know you've been playing it.
So I started playing I started playing again in the last couple weeks. I have some good friends of mine that are still playing, have been playing very heavily for a while, and I've kind of dropped off. I probably dropped off mid-season 4, and I want to say season 6. It's been a couple of years since I played pretty heavily. And so, but the game is of course the same. The mechanics are the same. There's just new champions, so it's really easy to pick back up. But I was just gonna talk about how. I guess as a girl, I was really involved at A&M, at Texas A&M, at the beginning of Texas A&M League of Legends and the A&M Esports, getting involved in TESPA, which ended up getting bought out by Blizzard. Like, there's been a lot of... I was pretty heavily...
We're joined, by the way, to... There's an entire giant room of...
Friday Night Magic. Brand new block just came out. First Friday Night Magic with the new block.
So they're pretty rowdy.
And no door anymore to muffle the sound as
I
much
can't
as
believe
possible.
they cut off the door. So anyway, continue.
Yeah, so, but I've always dealt with toxic players getting all worked up because I'm a girl, be it via
Never understood
voice.
that.
Like, if I'm queued up with some friends and they call me Katy in the chat, or if I'm on a voice client playing with a friend of mine who's playing with 3 or 4 other friends, I've just had generally negative experiences, and
Is that why you went ahead with the squeaky duck?
I don't know. I guess I didn't want to seem like too... I feel like it still kind of seems like a girl name, I guess. But,
yeah, it does. I can
Kinda,
see
yeah.
that being
But...
feminine to a degree. I know I'm not being gender specific.
Yeah, but I had almost no qualms, I guess. Maybe it's just a difference in 6 years ago, me learning, League of Legends was the first video game, like, especially multiplayer game I'd ever played, and that was because I had so many friends that played. Even, I haven't played very much ranked in the 6 years I've played the game. I think I did placements 1 season out of all the ones that I've been a part of. I think I started playing at the end of season 1, and right when Caitlyn came out, and I just never got into it. I felt like there was almost too much pressure. There's too much toxic behavior, but it's. I have friends that's all they do is they play ranked. That they can put up with it. Maybe I have just a thin skin. I don't know.
Yeah,
But even in Overwatch, though, I guess I don't know if it's because so much more has to go into a game of League of Legends than a game of CS:GO or a game of Overwatch. Like, the mechanics are so similar in Overwatch, and in League of Legends, you've got your skill set that's mapped to QWER, or however you have it mapped. But in League of Legends, you have a shop where you have to buy items to build your character the right way, and you have to earn gold by either killing, farm. Like, it just becomes so much more involved, so much more thought has to go into every game. They last like 45 minutes to an hour, Whereas like in Overwatch, you can lose horribly, and your KDA doesn't get shown in Overwatch. Whereas in League of Legends, every single stat how you compare to there's graphs.
Yeah.
There's like at least 5 to 7 different sets of graphs that you can look at comparing every single team member to each other.
I consider myself I'm an alpha gamer. Like I'm not a 20-something alpha gamer, which is completely different. But I play games pretty well, and I've tried to sit down with League like 3 times now. I'm just like, I wouldn't be able to record. I wouldn't be able to play any other game. It would literally be that game and only that game for at least a month or 2 before I would feel comfortable doing something else.
Yeah, and it's crazy to think of how strong the streaming community is with League of Legends.
Oh, it's crazy.
I remember before Twitch existed, it was like Justin TV, and then there was a Zubu, and then Twitch kind of came up and changed everything, and it got crazy popular. But League of Legends, I was watching when the Rain Man was still TSM's top, which I don't know if that means anything to you guys. But he was like the first streamer I watched, and then I always felt like there was not a lot of people to pick from. There weren't very many games that you could watch. And then all of a sudden, Justin stopped being Justin. Twitch came to fruition, and then speedrunning on Twitch became like my obsession for a while. But it's just insane how I feel like, in my experience, I didn't see anyone stream anything other than League of Legends for a really long time. I don't know.
Speaking of speedrun, did you see that somebody did a speedrun of Pokemon? I think it was Pokemon Blue. It was like an hour.
Yeah, it was really short.
And that's crazy.
I fucking love speedruns, man. They're like my crack. Like all the Summer Games Done Quick, all of those like amazing charity marathons that they do. I will stay up until 4 a.m.
to watch.
Yes, especially if I'm gonna get a Super Mario 64 run. For some reason, that is my favorite game to watch be speedrun.
That is a crazy game to watch. It's so.
Siglemic was like my favorite, and he hasn't streamed in a while.
It's just very like mesmerizing.
Because I feel like that was a game everybody played on the N64.
Yeah.
Super Mario 64.
Any of the Marios watching speedruns I like to watch because it's just.
Oh yeah.
You just.
Like the original Mario game, somebody beat it in less than 8 minutes.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I mean, I know probably 80% of all the loopholes and all that stuff, and even there's no way I could. Maybe an hour I can do it. So, anyway, let's move on to the next game. We were talking about being a little disappointed. Something that didn't live up to its hype. And that was about Mike, but we're going to talk about something else. No Man's Sky. Like this...
It's pretty.
It's pretty.
Yeah.
I compared it... I don't know if you saw that post that I made. I compared it to an underdone cake. Like...
Yeah.
The edges, you can eat the edges, they're nice, it feels like a good cake, and then the more you get into the middle, it's just not done. And that's pretty much No Man's Sky, at least for me.
Yeah.
All of the lies, things that people were talking about, I understand those. I've seen the videos now, but I never felt like I was lied to. Yeah. I just felt like they didn't put out. I think it should have been put out. I think they didn't put out. I think they should have held it a little bit longer. I think.
Did you give it at least 3 dates?
I gave it 3 dates, still didn't put out, and I was like, well, I'm taking it back.
Well, no, and I agree. I felt...
Well, that was so sexist of me.
A week for me, yeah.
Wow.
Oh my God. I got it the day it came. I got it like maybe a day after it came out.
Yeah, I got
picked
it
it up.
Yeah.
And I was really into playing it for really like 3 or 4 days. Like that was like all I thought about.
Yeah.
Like I was trying to understand so much about the game. I was doing a lot of like, I was reading so much shit on Reddit. I was reading so much shit just anywhere on the internet I could find about how to make more money and upgrade my ships, And then all of a sudden, I went one day where I didn't play it, and that was it. I just haven't fucking picked it up since.
Yeah.
Like it just added like my desire to play it. Like I don't know. I also encountered like multiple times on like on 2 different files. My ship getting fucked, like it's like it thinks it's encountering a barrier and it gets stuck.
Oh wow!
And then it just like continues to like kill itself and after the second time, and I know that's an early game thing, but it was enough to deter me because I don't want to have to.
You see
Yeah.
these beautiful worlds that are created. I had some amazing worlds, and I'm glad I kept a lot of video and I kept a lot of pictures.
Absolutely.
It was
an
really,
experience.
I mean, we were all. It was kind of fun. It was Ransom, Mike, and I were on group chat, and we're all on different worlds. You know, of course, not playing together because apparently there's no way to play together. And so we were like, oh my god, I just saw this. Oh my god, I saw this. My planet sucks. Like it's just that was fun. There was a lot of fun to that. But the deeper you got into the game, you wanted more complexity. You wanted
and I feel like that's what I was lacking. As I was doing this, I don't mind games where I'm grinding for a long time and I'm just trying to like level up or upgrade something. I don't mind that, but it just like there was absolutely no. I just felt like no matter what I did, there was just not enough. Like it was.
Yeah.
I was like, I just needed like one more level of a complexity. That's really all I needed. Like.
I kind of felt like, okay, it was that, this is so bad analogy, it was that one great time in bed, sorry I'm hitting the table, that one great time in bed with someone, and the whole, like, thing is based on that one time, and that one time was the whole going into space from the planet. That was, like, amazing, and then all of a sudden, it was like, wait a minute, I don't really like this person anymore. That was an awesome time, but I don't really like this anymore. By the way, I must have had a lot of sex with that game, because every analogy I've made has been about either sex or cake.
I mean, it's very beautiful.
It is, and I love...
But boring.
I love the fact...
Like dead fish, you know? Like,
yeah.
It's not a problem I've experienced.
The wet rag, yes.
Right?
Yeah. Like, as someone who... I've talked about social a little bit, but as someone who's working on a game now, but has worked on other stuff as well with gaming, the complexity of developing the characters and what they've done, like each planet down to different eyeballs, different things. It's all random. The randomness is amazing, but it felt like a tech demo in lots of us.
And I loved the fact that I got really excited when I could talk to the species on the planet. Like I could go find them, try and communicate with them, learn more of their language. And I could make them happy or make them upset, but like absolutely nothing else really came of that relationship. You know, like there was no.
It's like the worst relationship of a game ever. Yeah,
I don't know if I was expecting like Harvest. I wasn't expecting like Harvest Moon
Yeah.
quality like
You
relationship
fall in love,
building.
You have
I mean that would have been cool.
fall in
but
love, have tentacle babies.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
Mass Effect. Yeah.
but like I just felt like there was just.
I think anyone who's played that game and Mass Effect and all those things, you just want them to take that engine and use that for some other game, like that whole.
And I don't know if you know that, but I saw online a couple of days ago that there's an investigation being opened on them, and I don't know how I feel about that. Like, because I'm like, who has the authority to do that? I'm not remembering the agency off the top of my
I
head.
think if a game turns out to be a shit game, and you know what,
Did they do that to Spore?
Exactly. I have people, our editor-in-chief over at Cinelinx, he doesn't mind the game. He walks around, and I think it's because he plays in short bursts.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a lot of time, and I can see where that would be fun. But when you go and you do 30 hours, and then you get stuck inside of a mountain.
Yes! Oh my god!
And then it wiped my file.
Yes!
And I was like, I'm done. There's no reason for me to go back to this. And I'll go play Mass Effect, or I'll go play I was playing.
You'll go get your money's worth for putting that game back in the trade system.
Well, it went down very quickly.
I'm sure it did.
It went from, I think within 2 days, I think GameStop was trading it at like $15-$14.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah. So
they got like 12 out of it. Yeah.
I actually got more satisfaction from what I wanted in that kind of game. They put Star Trek Online on the PS4, and I got more satisfaction of what I wanted from that kind of game from Star Trek Online. Anyway, so after that, I played Deus Ex.
Yeah.
Mankind Divided.
The Deus Ex.
Yes. I really enjoyed it. We might have talked about it a little bit on the last episode, but I beat it twice, almost 3 times. And so I did the pacifist route. I didn't kill anybody, even the end boss. in the entire game, which that's an amazing thing. And
Was there an achievement for that?
yeah. And then I went through the other way, and I played Gameplay Plus.
Yeah.
So you keep all of your augmentations, and you get more, so you're like a badass. I killed everybody at that point, because it was just like murder. Murder Man was the name of the character. I really enjoyed it. I've had a lot of people that I've talked to were bored as shit playing it.
Yeah.
Kyle. But I can see where that's not his cup of tea. It's too political, too whatever. I enjoyed it because I like the diversity of the missions. I like the fact that I can complete a mission in like 5 to 6 different ways.
Yeah.
That's a great feeling to kind of figure something out, and it's not necessarily the way it's supposed to be.
I'm gonna admit something I don't like to admit because I feel like it's stupid. But when I play like games like Grand Theft Auto, which I love those types of games, but I don't kill people unless I have to. Like I
follow the street signs?
Yes, I drive regular. I don't kill people. I pay the strippers. You know, like I don't touch them when the bouncer's looking.
I always pay the strippers, but then I run them over.
See, I don't. I feel like I feel genuine guilt. Like,
does your parents not love you?
Like
Here's
the most
extra
I'll
money.
do is like steal someone's car, you know, like, but I won't kill them.
But you write a little letter.
I'm like, sorry. Yeah, exactly. Like, and so games like that where you can choose your own, like you can don't have to kill things if you don't want to. Man, that's like my favorite because
it definitely makes it harder.
So
though.
bad.
It definitely makes it harder playing it that way. But it's kind of rewarding to get to the end boss. It's really weird to get to that end boss, and it literally ends in like 2 seconds because you figure out. Or actually, if you go the kill route, that's the quickest way. If you do a whole chain of events throughout the game, you literally set off a bomb and blow him up.
Really?
Yeah, but you don't have. But that you had to work for that. Like, so it's kind of a kind of moment kind of thing. So if you like stealth-based games, I would highly check it out. If you like the first one, I would definitely check it out. And it definitely has a better ending than the first one, which was the biggest complaint of the first. Well, not the first one, but the
last one.
The last one. So,
is it Human Revolution?
Yeah. Human Revolution. Yeah.
So, anything else you've been playing? Pokemon Go.
Yeah, I did play Pokemon Go, and I still am playing passively. I have some people at work who laugh at the idea of playing actual Pokemon games.
They can bite me.
But they're like super into Pokemon Go. So I'm like, at least you're enjoying. See, it's possible to enjoy this content and be an adult. But
have you noticed that the like GameStop and the stores like that? It's hard to find any of the Pokemon games now, so it must have made a huge impact.
I mean, I'm not doubting the social with the social and economic impact of Pokemon Go on the franchise. I think it's I'm sure it was great, but I felt like they gutted the game there.
So explain that, because that is something I explained on the last episode. The entire cultural revolution of Pokemon Go, I did not get to participate in. So.
I honestly wonder if it was called like the ability to track Pokemon pretty accurately if you really put in like some effort anyways. I wonder if it was causing too many problems with trespassing and just causing like people were just like, nah, it's not that big a deal. I really need this Dragonair, you know? Like
right.
I honestly,
that makes sense.
And I honestly wonder if Niantic felt like they were under pressure to make it harder to track Pokemon in that aspect. But I mean, they just kind of gutted the tracking the tracking of it. And I remember the first day that my tracking didn't work. I was at the gym. Which has a Pokestop at it. It was 5:30 in the morning, and I look down and I have it open because I can just like hit this Pokestop like fucking 15 times in my workout, and I look and I just check to see if I can hit this Pokestop, and there's a fucking Blastoise within. It says 3 footsteps of me. Shit. So I finish my workout and I get in my car and I drive around for like 15 minutes in every goddamn direction. And I cannot find him, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, I didn't get 2 steps anywhere, you know. Like, I was so confused, and then I found out later in the day that the tracking function wasn't working for anybody. All it was showing you was Pokemon nearby, and I'm like, God that made it so much harder for me because I wish I had the time to just kind of go around and explore a meander. I wish I had that time, but I don't, and it just completely killed the game for me because my house has no fucking Pokemon. It has Pidgeys and Rattatas.
I've got Rattatas.
My work every once in a while we get something, but it also kills my fucking battery, so I have to have it open so much. So it was just kind of a mix of things that really made the game, that just killed the game for me.
I have a theory about that too. One of the reasons was the whole thing, but I wonder if they're going to have it to where you can pay extra or get a little something to where that pops up where you can see stuff.
I don't know. I honestly feel like it was so much of a hazard. Like people literally died playing Pokemon Go. You know what I mean? Which is natural selection. I mean, I guess
still messed up.
I'm sorry to the families and the people that happened to, but everybody, I don't think it's fair if everybody's being punished for those actions. But I feel like the issues were probably way more widespread than people care to admit. Because nerds will go to crazy lengths to get everything.
When Pokemon Go was released, I think I talked to Mike about this. I actually saw a whole group of people standing outside my house. Staring at my house.
Exactly.
And I was just
how weird is that?
Yeah, that just kind of freaked me out a little bit. I'm entirely excited for Sun and Moon.
Yes, I'm very excited. I'm trying to go in blind.
I've heard that some of the stuff will transfer to Sun and Moon. The Pokemon Go, there's something.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I know the Pokebank though. Will not work for Sun and Moon this year. It doesn't work till next year. So all of the
for the old school stuff. Yeah,
so you'll have to keep it locked up and keep your the thing up to date
for the digital versions of the game, right?
No, physical too. I use my Pokebank all the time.
Okay.
That's how my 8,000.
Oh, never mind. I'm thinking about the old school blue, yellow, and red.
No, those won't be till next year. You can't even save them yet. So last thing that I've been playing a lot of stuff on the Xbox backwards compatibility thingamabob, which by the way works really nice.
Really? Yeah. Is the library a lot bigger?
It's almost 300 games now.
Really? Good.
Yeah, so it's quite a bit of content. They've got they just put out Lost Odyssey, which I don't know if you're familiar with that, but it was a 360 game that was Mistwalker Studios, which is a studio that Microsoft helped put together from the guys who created Final Fantasy.
Oh, yeah.
So they made that in Blue Dragon.
I'm super salty. Final Fantasy got delayed again.
Again.
Oh my god. This game better blow my mind.
Yeah, at this point.
And now I'm really worried.
You know what's really funny is I'm actually almost more excited for World of Final Fantasy right now. Have you seen that?
Yeah, I've seen some of it.
It kind of gives me a Kingdom Hearts vibe.
Also another game
I'm
salty about, but...
But yeah, the backwards compatibility works really good. I've been playing South Park as well, Stick of Truth.
Yeah.
And it up-reses, it makes everything run smoother. I mean, Red Dead, they did a huge update to it, so it runs so smooth.
Good, because...
I'd almost say that the backwards compatibility is worth getting an Xbox for.
Really?
Yeah,
that's awesome. Because I do it does frustrate me that with PlayStation games that I bought on the PlayStation 3 store, I have to buy them again if they're
or you have to the only way you can play them is on the PlayStation Now.
Exactly.
And I understand
it's just so goofy to me.
I understand they spent $1 billion for that to be able to work.
Yeah.
And they want to make their money back, but it's very annoying the fact that I can't play games that I already own. At least make PlayStation 1 games available.
I know. Exactly. I don't, and maybe this is definitely a first world problem, but if I want to play Chrono Trigger, I don't want to have to. I would love to just be able to boot it up on my PlayStation 4. I don't want to have to. Move all my wires around.
Bare minimum,
make sure my controllers are charged.
Exactly. Bare minimum. Well, the PlayStation 4 controller dies all the time anyway. But
you have a crappy controller then.
No, it's the light bar. We use it all day long though too. But
yeah, that's true.
They started putting the PS2 ports well, not exactly ports, but the PS2 games on the PS4, and they added trophy support, which, by the way, is amazing to finally get trophies for Psychonauts.
I know. There's so many games I want to buy.
So if they did that for PS1 games, and I've heard talk about them trying to do that, but if they did that for PS1 games, and it's games that I already own, and only charge me, like, let's say $1,
yeah,
I would totally do that. I would totally rebuy all my games for $1 each, like Nintendo does for on the Wii U.
Absolutely.
The ones you own on the Wii. So, I highly recommend if you can find a copy, because I hear it's hard as hell to find, Lost Odyssey. Now that it went backwards compatible, of course, and the price goes up. I heard rumor that they were going to do it a few months ago.
Yeah.
And I got it for like $2.
I was going to say, it wasn't expensive
now
for a long time.
It's 4 discs. That's the one interesting thing about it, though, that I found.
Oh, that's bringing us back, man.
Yeah.
Multi-disc RPGs.
4 discs, but it only uses the first disc as a DRM key, and you download the entire game. So you don't have to swap discs. So it makes a digital version. It downloads it to your system. And then you just use the first disc to unlock the game to be able to play it each time.
Yeah.
It literally spins it once and it never spins it again during the gameplay.
Okay.
So
but then you don't need to change discs?
No, correct.
Then why are there multiple discs?
Because it originally had 4 discs. Because
Yeah.
But this is the weird thing. So they have a digital version of the game. You cannot buy the digital version of the game right now. You have to go... Like a lot of the other Xbox 360 games that are backwards compatible, you can buy the digital version. Like Red Dead, I have the digital version, but for some reason, they are not releasing the digital version of Lost Odyssey. So you have to have the discs, and it has a digital version, but you can't buy a digital version.
That's stupid.
So that's confusing. Granted, this is early; like it literally came out last night.
Yeah.
So. Let's see. But
I'm sure that they'll probably unlock it.
That or my other thing is I wonder if it's going to be a games for gold, like it's going to be a free game. So I could see them doing that, going, well,
I guess they don't want to make people mad by like letting them buy it.
Yeah,
and then in October it become like a game for gold. Have they? Did
they
announce though?
Yeah, they released the Xbox ones are actually before the PlayStation ones now. The games for gold stuff before the PlayStation Plus stuff. So. Well, that's pretty much what we've been playing. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back, and we're going to talk about TV. Some of the fall season stuff we've been watching, and some of the Netflix stuff, movies, and that kind of stuff. Yeah, we're making it kind of easy peasy today. And then I have a interview that I talked to Jordan from Cinelinx. We talk about the new non-Kojima Metal Gear. So
Good deal.
Yeah, so we'll be right back.
Cage matches? Yeah, they work. How could they not work?
Tell me I'm crazy.
Mulder, you're crazy.
We either have very good aim or very bad aim.
Don't even start unless you want to eat your teeth for lunch.
Scotty, beat me up. Well, you're right about this being a bad idea.
That's a sinister. The world ended. Didn't you get the memo?
And we're back. We are going to talk about... Let's start off with TV stuff. It's fall season here in the United States. Well, it's fall for other places too, but
especially here.
TV is the thing that grows the most during the fall season here. And there's a lot of shows that have come out. Some great. We're probably going to have an entire episode at some point, or at least a good chunk of an episode in the next episode.
Yeah, maybe.
Talking about fall season.
Yeah, I like that idea.
But we'll touch base with a few things and some stuff that we just kind of really liked. It doesn't necessarily have to do with the fall season, but stuff that we've liked recently. Because again, this is kind of a catch-up episode, so not actual catch-up, but that's episode 69.
Okay, Dad.
I know, that was a dad joke. I was a terrible dad joke, but this is the Fathergamer podcast, so, where you can find Clint Street. Let's start off. We're gonna roll down the Marvel lane for just a moment, but let's start off with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Did any of you guys watch?
I watched the 2 on-demand episodes I could get.
So the first two
The
episodes.
first two episodes.
Yes,
Oh, okay. I've watched the first 2 seasons, and then I kind of... And it's funny because that we're talking about this, because the first episode was on TV, like, the other night, and I just watched it while I was doing laundry, and I was like, oh my god.
They're
I forgot
babies.
that I love this show.
And they're-
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, oh, Sky. Oh.
They're kind of babies, and when you go back and watch it, you're like, oh my god, so much shit has happened to these poor people
I
between...
know.
But
I completely forgot what happened to Sky, and so I was
But-
like,
so
she's
it's-
away from them now?
Well,
Well-
spoiler.
but the big reveal everyone knows about is Ghost Rider, and that the ratings were so bad, for like last season.
Well, to be fair, all the comic book shows,
I haven't watched it.
well, and even Arrow and Flash,
Yeah.
Supergirl, every superhero show compared to like CSI or those kind of things
Yeah.
is incredibly low. Like it is, and I think the reason for that is people either pirate or watch it digitally.
They don't actually watch it.
Probably,
on
yeah.
time.
Yeah, I mean, and I agree with that.
The Nielsen is a stupid rating system. It's archaic and it needs to be thrown. It does. It really does. It is a terrible rating system that needs to be changed.
But I mean, there was a significant rise in the ratings.
Except for when it's my shows, and then on that case, if it does well for my shows, then I'm fine
Yeah.
with it. But Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Last season had really good moments and really muddled moments.
Yeah.
It's kind of felt like they didn't know exactly what to do with it. And I think the problem, part of it too, was they were trying to feed stuff from
The
Peggy
movies.
Carter and the movies, and so, and now I loved Peggy Carter, and then I loved Peggy Carter too.
Me
but
too.
but it rolls into now though where yes, there is a definite tie-in still to other stuff, and you know certain things are coming, especially Strange is coming, Doctor Strange.
Yes.
And the fact that this season they're dealing more about mythological stuff and ghosts and stuff.
But
There's
honestly,
no
but
coincidence.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I don't know if y'all watched it when it first started, it's followed the MCU.
Oh, completely.
I mean, its timeline, you can
Though-
see where it was when the actual
Well,
movies were coming out.
when
the Kree,
The Kree.
Oh, yeah.
in season 2?
when
Well, I thought that was even last season too.
when
though,
Winter
wasn't it?
Soldier
They
came,
continue. Oh.
when Winter Soldier came out,
Yeah.
it completely changed the show, and that was kind of cool to go. You see Winter Soldier, and then you watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. You're like, holy crap!
And that's
they
what I
did
really
this.
like about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it needs to be a partner to the movies, but it has to exist on itself. And this season kind of feels like it's existing into itself. It's still kind of got the hokey Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.ness to it.
Yeah. I know, but
it
that's
is
why I
kind-
love it.
that's why I love it too. And Ghost Rider is a perfect representation of the newer Ghost Rider in the comic
Yeah.
series. He's dead on. No pun intended with him. They spent a lot of money on
He
his
looks
transformation.
super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I like-
Sorry,
I-
Nick Cage.
I
oh,
like
God.
the
we will not speak of those movies.
I like the look of the skull.
Yeah,
on
it has
his
that
version.
has a different. Like,
It's got this like little V going through the forehead.
I still haven't figured out what that design on his.
You'll find
What it
out in
means
time.
later.
Yeah, so it looks like a I don't know what it looks like a paperclip or something. The design on his, but I like it. Like I love anytime you can develop a character and you see that somewhere and it almost becomes a logo. That's a great design.
Yeah.
And it's well executed. Again, a little hokey with some of the ghost stuff because I think the problem is they don't want to go full spiritual.
Yeah.
They're
But
scared
it's so
to death.
hard to, though.
Yeah, because they've developed that everything is science based. It's sort of like Star Trek. Anytime or Doctor Who, anytime there was a ghost, it was explained by this is an alien. So, but it's been really good. The couple episodes we've seen, and we'll continue to follow that.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And moving on to Luke Cage, I think I'm the only one that's seen. I've seen the first 3
For
episodes.
now.
For now, well,
But I
I'll
want to
power
talk
through.
about it because I'm really excited.
Okay, so I had read a few people that had seen it early.
Yeah.
And their quote was, "It's unapologetically black."
Which I like.
Well, at
I'm
first I was
excited
like,
for that.
what does that mean exactly? Like, I mean, does he just, I'm not going to apologize? Or does, what does it mean exactly? And so, and I'm a fan of a lot of the black movies from like the 70s.
Yeah.
I love all the Shaft and all that kind of stuff, and I can see them trying to tap into that in a modern day, and it's shot fantastically. But I mean, I was nervous about how people were going to experience this show, because it is completely different than the other shows.
Yeah, but I think what's similar though is the characters themselves that are being showcased by Netflix are relatively unknown to the general population.
Oh yeah,
and I think that gives them a lot of like that. And so I think that the worry is definitely there, but I think that the Netflix audience too is really open to
in our age,
exactly
in our age group, our generation of age, like, you know,
the quality of production.
We border, and we tend to be a lot more open on what we watch too. So far, what I've watched, I've really enjoyed. I think he's a badass. Probably my biggest complaint is not the acting, not the story, not like it's a little slow at the beginning, but once they give him a reason to be a hero, I'm invested by that point. Like, I've totally invested in this character, and I already liked him from
Jessica
Jones.
I feel like that's the aesthetic I got going on right now.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what,
I got the boots.
there's still some Poonhound good thing going on as
good.
well. So,
I love her.
Like a crossover from her?
No.
Oh,
just
okay.
him in general.
He gets all the ladies.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
have you seen Mike Coulter?
He's a huge dude. So, but it's got brevity and humor and a lot of social issues that, and really they had to expand upon stuff and talk about stuff that's going on now. I mean, he is a superhero, he is a black man, and he is bulletproof.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't get any more topical for right now than pretty much that.
Well,
other than unless he was, running for president.
Well, and it's funny you say that though, because he was interviewed on Chelsea Handler's Netflix show Chelsea.
Right.
And she does a lot with promoting Netflix content and really doing a lot with the actors who are doing something similar to her.
Right.
With Netflix. And he even says the reason he picks the sweatshirt to wear in Luke Cage is because of Trayvon Martin and how important. I mean, and whatever you feel about it, like, that's obviously, it is. And really
that's
topical,
the content that I was nervous about, because anytime you get into something that people
controversial.
Yeah, but it's the thing is, like, a lot of really good sci-fi. I'm not saying this is entirely sci-fi, because it's not, but a lot of really good sci-fi, like in Star Trek and stuff, made social issues, but it wasn't like straight on the head. Like, it was like it kind of like veered around, and then people go, "Oh, I get it.
Oh, yeah.
This is right in your face," and that's the unapologetic black experience I'm getting. Granted, it's coming from my point of view too, being a Vulcan and everything. But it's.
I think it's funny that even like I saw the commercial finally, the latest one, and. He's getting shot up. He's like, I'm really don't like having to change my clothes all the time. And I'm thinking about that, like the humor in that, in the DC aspect, like the complete opposite on DC.
Yeah.
Their clothes do not get mangled.
Yeah, that's true. They have
some sort of weird, like, aura around them.
Superman actually
But honestly, I will say that that's definitely a Netflix Marvel thing. Netflix has the production. Like, I fucking love Netflix, and I'm like, Netflix is gonna rule the world.
Right.
I will watch literally anything that Netflix will put out at least once, because I just trust their production quality, and I'm picky. I'm really picky about TV shows.
Yeah.
And they have a lot of stuff now.
And I just feel like far and above really any. Like, I just love their Marvel media because it feels so gritty and so real. Like, how
it's interesting though how it fits into the overall Marvel Cinematic Universe. I mean, they even in I think the first episode they mention the incident again, and they talk about it. And they always talk about, like, oh, it's not like you're the guy that has the blonde hair and a hammer. I mean, they definitely tie it in. But these guys are badass mothers. Like I'm not entirely sure they could hang out with the Avengers. I think the Avengers would be scared of the Defenders. Like it
should be.
It should be.
I was
They've
about to go
seen
into
some
the, what
shit,
are you talking
dude.
about?
Yeah.
They're like, it's like they've seen some shit they weren't able to get out of
Yeah.
these small pockets of terrible things that are happening
Well,
in the greater New York area.
One character, and that's also you're dealing with a lot of the urban setting, especially in Harlem. And Harlem's this. If you know anything about modern Harlem, it was mostly a town that was originally mostly black.
Yeah.
And now it's incredibly diverse. There's a lot of hipsters and other people moving in.
Yep.
And so there is a expression from one of the characters that they want to keep Harlem black. And that's an interesting point of view, especially very interesting to see how other characters who are black disagree with that, and it's some great storytelling with that, and stuff that we do need to talk about, as and also he gets to beat up people, so that's always kind of cool. But that is my biggest problem with the show.
I'm looking forward to
The action
yeah.
is my biggest problem, and
Really?
I think the problem is
For now,
3
episodes in.
But
Right.
he's a big hulking guy
Yeah.
that moves like 1970s Lou Ferrigno when he's beating up stuff. And I mean, he is.
How far? Like where? So where in the?
So slow.
Like where in the
Yeah.
timeline is this taking place? Is this taking place
This is after, I believe.
Oh,
I believe this. Yeah,
After what?
it has to
after
be because
Jessica Jones?
I haven't
Yes.
seen it yet, but Night Nurse shows up.
Eau Claire?
Yeah,
She's
she's in the trailer. That's the only reason I know that. So.
Yeah, it
Can we
has to
talk
be
about Claire
afterward.
Temple?
She's awesome.
She is the glue that holds these motherfuckers together.
Yeah, she is.
Claire is
Literally.
the
Night
talk
Nurse.
show guy, right?
No.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So it's.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really interested to talk more about this after.
Yeah,
watch it.
I think we'll get more into this after we talk about it. I'm like I said, I'm really invested, and I like a lot of the stuff that I'm seeing. My other big issue so far is there were certain times like they were trying to get that aesthetic and the ambience of like those 70s black films. You could tell they were trying to get that vibe. And like I said, I'm a huge fan of that stuff, but sometimes they went a little too far with the music. Like, to the point you're like, okay, I get it, you're trying to be Tarantino, but you're not quite there with this shot. And there's some great imagery. Like, I really like the show so far, and I think we should really need to get into it more when we... Let's shoot for next episode, talk more about TV
Yeah.
and stuff. So,
Yeah.
I don't. That's really. I guess those. I don't really know. I guess did y'all talk about Supergirl moving to CW?
Well, yeah, that we talked a little bit about that, and we believe we talked a little bit about how I think it was the last episode where we didn't know where we were going to watch the show because a lot of us have cut the cable cord. And,
Yeah.
Yes, we have.
and
And
like,
CW is not on View
no, it's not PlayStation View, which I'm doing.
or Slingbox.
But the CW app is on Xbox, so
And you can use it
Yeah,
on
screw
PC.
you.
It's also and their website's free to use. I mean,
it's terrible though, their website.
Really?
I was watching it on. I went to go look at it yesterday, on the Xbox, and they've completely changed where everything's laid out and all that. So they're getting ready for the fall, and it's doing the basic structure of 5 episodes. So the last 5 episodes you can watch. I'm happy I can watch it on my TV of Supergirl, Arrow,
and
Flash, and the Heroes of Tomorrow, or whatever it is. I always forget.
Right.
I like the show actually. It's very Doctor Who-ish almost, pretty much. It's stupidly Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Like I mean, there's a moment where the Atom actually becomes Godzilla-sized and fights a giant robot. I'm not kidding you. Like, yeah, I was just like, I love this.
That's awesome.
It's terrible, but I love it. It's a really odd show, but I'm looking forward to see how those all develop for the season, especially knowing that there's going to be crossover with all of them.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
That's the
within
thing.
the
That's
TV,
gonna be a lot of
within
types.
the TV universe, there's always crossover.
Yeah, but
which
now
is good.
there's a 4-part crossover, and each of them have their own superheroes. So there might be parts where like
a little mini Justice League.
yeah, well,
thing.
Heroes of Tomorrow they have the Justice League, Justice Society of America, like
Yeah.
the futures, whatever for
Just
some shit, you know.
Yeah,
So there's tons of stuff, and Superman's going to be on Supergirl, and there's been a lot of like backlash that he's skinny, like.
Oh my
the
god.
Legion of Superheroes, probably.
Yeah, something like that.
Because
Legion.
I know, like Superboy, the cartoon, they had the
from the
where he would
future.
come from the future, yeah.
So, but he is a skinny guy. I will give him that. He was on Teen Wolf. So, but he's not. He's not Teen Wolf himself.
one.
Yeah.
But yeah, the MTV one. He's not Michael J. Fox, which would make an amazing Superman, by the way. But for probably reasons we don't want to talk about. But anyway, so I've seen the first episode of Supergirl already.
Yeah.
Of the new season.
And I think he's fine. Like, I think he's a more light Boy Scout version.
Do the pictures that they're showing online not do him justice? Because he looks
weird. It's weird, and he is different looking, but I think in my brain I kind of went, you know what, he is an alien. So, because he kind of has like almost those fox eyes.
But aliens are supposed to be, but these aliens specifically from Krypton have to be unnaturally attractive.
Yeah,
yes.
Based on human standards,
yes.
Obviously.
Yeah, she's cute. But
we're talking about him. Is he unnaturally attractive? Or is he like butt ugly?
No, he's not butt ugly, but he's okay, I guess. I mean, I think aesthetically I can see, but I look at him as a character that I really like. I don't look at him in that way, and I look at him as he's the goofy, stupid Clark Kent, but he's the traditional Clark Kent for the most part, and I like that. I like the fact I like to see the Boy Scout in a world that's so freaking dark now. It's kind of amazing to see that character.
So they're keeping the Christopher Reeves vibe.
I mean, he's definitely his own. Campy. He's definitely his own. He fits completely though in the Arrowverse, like with the Flash and that kind of thing. So
cool.
But that's probably it for shows right now. We'll get more into it. I mean, next episode we'll have seen a lot of the CW stuff, and so we'll be caught up. And there's a lot of games coming. Yokai Watch 2 I'll probably pick up, and then we've got Gears coming out. I have Gears coming out, and then we'll probably have done the raid by then as well. So anyway, so we have an interview. I talked to Jordan about, this is all the way back, I think it was a Tokyo Game Show or something like that, or maybe Gamescom. I've had that. Okay, I'm here with Jordan from Cinelinx, editor-in-chief, resident Star Wars nut, big, huge film fan. But there's one other franchise that you absolutely love, Jordan, and that is Metal Gear.
Oh, yes. I love me some Metal Gear.
Like, I knew as soon as this news broke of the new Metal Gear game for post-Kojima, I knew I had to come to you. So, do you want to break it down for us right quick, what we saw in the trailer for the Gamescom trailer?
Well, I'm still trying to figure out what we saw in the trailer.
Well, I
didn't see Metal Gear.
No.
I saw something.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Like you said, big Metal Gear fan. Have been for a long time. I had all the games, even the old. I played the original ones when they came out. I played the old Game Boy Color one.
Oh, yeah.
I've played them all. Literally, every single one. And I love the franchise. I love the story. And then, Metal Gear Solid 5 kind of ended, and it's obvious the game's not fully complete, and everybody's been waiting for, or hoping for, a more complete Metal Gear Solid 5, having the third chapter in there that actually ties everything all together. And then they show this trailer at Gamescom.
So I guess we should go through what we saw in the trailer first. I mean, the only thing that really seems to tie in to the Metal Gear franchise is you see, Big Boss getting on the helicopter, taking off their that's Mother Base. I was correct.
Yeah, that's. I mean, it's right at the end of Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes, that little prologue chapter right before Metal Gear Solid 5, where, that's the very end of it, where, you're fleeing Mother Base because it's under attack. So, and I guess the premise of Metal Gear Survive is that you're some of the survivors there who were left after Big Boss went away on the helicopter. But of course, he ended up exploding and ending up in a coma for a decade or so.
Yeah.
But this takes place during that exact same time period of Ground Zero. So you see him go off, and then you see these random black holes show up that start sucking everything up from Mother Base in there. And there's no telling where these come from. We haven't, I don't know if this is connected to the villain in Metal Gear Solid 5 or Ground Zeroes at Skullface.
They're actual plot holes. They're
probably literal plot holes that everything's getting sucked into. And then they end up on this random alternate dimension. I don't know if it's another planet or, just an alternate dimension. It's this hellish landscape, and they're basically what amounts to zombies there, and they have to survive these zombies. And it's a squad-based shooter, and I'm guessing based off what we saw in the trailer, there's going to be a crafting element where you make different weapons. You have to build up a different, you saw parts of Mother Base have been, and so you see parts of Mother Base floating around. So I guess you find them, build up your own little fortress, and defend against these zombie waves. All these things that have absolutely nothing to do with Metal Gear.
So it looks like it might almost be, from what we're getting, almost like a horde mode. I could see that.
I could see that. I mean, it's so weird because it's just not. It's so opposite of what you expect from Metal Gear.
It's kind of weird. This is not the only game kind of doing that right now. I mean, you've got Call of Duty kind of looks like Halo.
Oh yeah,
I mean, Resident Evil looks like Outlast. So I mean, I guess they wanted to. No one's using the Resident Evil formula, so I guess Konami felt like it had to do it.
I mean, I guess. And that's what I think most of us longtime Metal Gear fans are so frustrated about. It's such a big departure from what we understand of the series itself.
Right.
And especially as far as gameplay goes. I mean, it's not typically a squad-based, pure action thing. Now, the developers have come out and said, oh, no, stealth is still a part of it. And you got to trust us. And the fact is, nobody trusts them right now. They screwed over, Hideo Kojima. They really upset fans with that. They released Metal Gear Solid 5, and it's obviously not a finished story. They have, supposedly have some finished story out there for it. And, they're not... Their whole business structure has shifted so much that fans don't really trust them anymore.
Well, it's weird after Kojima left or was booted or whatever exactly happened. Mm-hmm. The two things that they've shown so far, Metal Gear related, are a pachinko machine and this.
Yeah, and the pachinko machine's crazy because they updated and remastered the graphics.
Yeah, with the Fox engine,
from Metal Gear Solid 3, and it looks incredible. And we're like, why don't you just do a remastered version of that game? But no, it's a pachinko machine. I mean, just stuff like that. You do that to the fans, and then you turn around and say, "Hey, trust us. We know what we're doing." It's like, no, we don't trust you at this point. You've got to show something more than that. You've got to show gameplay. You got to do something.
Well, any indicator of what we saw at E3 when Kojima went on stage, that video that we have on the Cinelink's YouTube, it was just F Konami. I mean, there's literal hashtags F Konami.
Oh yeah, nobody's happy with Konami right now, and I mean, there's good reason for it. I think their business has just been kind of, equal parts shady and just totally ridiculous. They've done nothing to show that the fans should trust them at this point. So it's really hard for them to sit back, show this completely different Metal Gear game that's so off franchise, and then sit back and say, no, trust us, we know what we're doing.
I am curious though, just on a pure curiosity on this. If it didn't have Metal Gear attached to it, what people would think? Like,
that's an excellent question. And I know many people that said that. It's like, why even bother calling this Metal Gear at that point?
mm-hmm.
All you're doing is just trying to entice people with the franchise name. And it looks like a quick cash grab because they have the assets.
Mm-hmm.
They can slap Metal Gear on it and they even said it's not going to be like a full $60 game. It's going to be like a $30 game. So it's going to be one of those quick arena-based or, squad-based shooters, and just for the money. And it's just frustrating.
Well, I'm sure we'll be covering it and anything else Metal Gear on some links.
Oh yeah. We have to, just because it's, part of the news, and, I'm curious to see what they do with this franchise. And, I've been wrong before, and I'm always happy to set aside, my, fanboyishness.
That's really hard though on this. I have to admit.
It's really hard, but, I'm going to give it a shot. And, it could turn out to be a half decent game that still has nothing to do with Metal Gear. But who knows?
Well,
who knows?
For any more information on that, make sure to check out some links. We'll have all the stuff from Gamescom on there as well, and any other news on Metal Gear. So thank you very much, Jordan.
Oh, you're welcome.
So, but unfortunately, guys, I am so sorry. We have been very lax in getting the episodes out. We've been working on stuff
and
being
trying
sick.
to get better.
Yeah, well, okay, not dying
is great.
I don't think I talked about the anaphylaxis.
Okay, you might have, but I can't remember.
I don't think I did. I don't think we've recorded since. Okay, so no, because I had a beard. Well, I have a beard again, sort of. But so I ended up talking on last episode like, I'm feeling better. Well, I jinxed myself, and I took an antibiotic that I've taken 1,000,000 times, had an anaphylactic reaction.
Yeah.
Pretty much stopped breathing, and
yeah, he literally almost died.
Yeah.
Within a few more minutes, he probably would have been dead.
So
had he not gotten treated.
They shaved my beard, which was like terrible. Yeah, the doctor actually asked me, Katy. He was like, "So do you mind if I shave your beard?" And I had to think about it. I was like on death's door, but I was like, I kind of want to keep this.
It's like, embalm me.
What? No,
Make
it
me
actually
look
crossed
pretty.
my mind. I want a beard when I die. So
it's like, can you save the pieces?
Yeah, no, they gave me mutton chops, and I was like, no, I'm starting over. So
I liked them.
Yeah,
I liked it.
I actually, my wife came and visited me in the hospital, and she has these things called thinking glasses. They're like aviator glasses she puts on, and apparently she put them on me while I was sleeping, and I had the mutton chops, and so I looked like Elvis. So that was a great thing apparently for her. So anyway, besides that, and so we're definitely getting more episodes out. Also, I've been very busy. I announced on some of our social stuff that I'm actually working on a game now.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of by accident.
Well, kind of by accident on purpose kind of thing. But this is going to be one of those things, though, where I might briefly talk about it ever so often. But
he didn't want it to be public just yet, and he
happened.
inadvertently.
It happened.
Yeah.
But I probably will not talk about it much more than this, because we are literally 3 years from it probably coming out, so there's no point.
Yeah.
But it's been a pleasure to work on something that I've seen my character now,
mm-hmm.
the character that I've been working on for so long, and actually physically seeing it is amazing. But it's like I will fully admit I started crying.
Good.
Like it's
good. If you don't cry, just being able to show that kind of emotion means that you care so much about it.
Eric had told me about the game, because I'm kind of in the loop on it, and he told me about the game a long time ago before we even had an idea of what she looked like, and I was already crying from the story.
So,
and I kind of know what she's going to look like.
Oh my God, you said too much.
No.
How dare you?
So yeah, again, probably won't talk about it much, but guys, I want to thank everyone for listening and everyone that stayed with us through this last year, because it has been a terrible year. We will be getting more stuff out. I'm not going to say that I'm feeling better, because that's just going to jinx things, but we're going to get more stuff out. And in the holidays, we'll be able to get a lot more stuff out, I think. So, again, thanks again for listening. And if you want to follow me, any of my stuff, just pretty much look at Fathergamer. Instagram, Fathergamer. Twitter, Fathergamer. Bathroom stall next in the Arby's next to your house, probably Fathergamer. You can also find all of our shows on Stitcher, SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play Music,
pretty much everywhere.
Tunein Radio,
on Cinelinx,
on Cinelinx.com, of course, which I needed to mention. I was getting into that. If you like nerd news, reviews, and anything awesomely awesome, that's an awesome thing. You can go to Cinelinx.com, and most of our, not all of our older episodes, but a lot of our older episodes are there.
As far as going backwards, 40 was the first one.
Yeah, so 40 on Cinelinx, and then if you go to SoundCloud, we've got a lot of the older ones on there.
Yeah,
slowly.
I need to start putting more out.
Well, it's crazy to go back and listen to the old episodes, like the first ones.
Yeah.
Because we talk about stuff like one of the last ones I listened to. Yes, I listened to myself. We were talking about Gears
Conceded much?
3.
Yeah.
And that was crazy.
And Destiny and all sorts of other stuff. Destiny beta.
Yeah.
Before,
we were talking about Mario coming out. But, Katy, where can they find stuff about you?
Oh, yes. So you can find me on Twitter, and apparently I said this earlier, League of Legends also, if you ever want to play. I love
apparently
ARAMs.
so, yeah.
I love ARAMs. At the Squeaky Duck, just exactly how it sounds. And then I'm on Instagram and Tumblr is Katy Cakes, all with K's. I'm sure if you search it, you'll find it. So,
Mike?
At Silverhawks, no vowels.
And you're on Instagram,
Twitter. I used to be on Tumblr, but I'm not anymore.
I just reblocked
any social medias that are currently out right now, other than Facebook, obviously, it's going to be social.
I've pretty much taken everything like I can. Like I think I've talked about this. I even took a Tinder, Fathergamer. Just like
looking for games.
Yeah, I'm having fun my games. Well, thank you guys for listening, and as always, achieve greatness.
Woo!